Straight ahead on 12 News, the alarming rise in heroin cases. It's the subject of an emergency town hall meeting in Brooklyn Park. We sit down with one of the guest speakers. Plus, hanging up his helmet. We talk with the man who's retiring from Golden Valley after 40 years in fire service. But first, ankle deep in slush. The April surprise that could melt away quickly in people's memories. 12 News starts right now. Depending on where you live, you either had to get out the snowblower or you laughed at the person doing it.
The latest weather system dropped 7 inches of snow officially in New Hope. It was even more farther north and west. Some parts of Rogers, for instance, had nearly 13 inches of snow. It's all made for a character-building spring, but as Cassie Bonstrom reports, we found people today thinking positive.
Well, it's not quite the spring weather we had in mind, but we're trying to keep a good attitude about it. We hear the snow will melt about as quickly as it came. Last week, Kurt Clark had a spring bike ride on the brain.
Took the motorcycle out, got that running, thought, well, this is great. You know, spring is here.
Today, not so much.
Well, I thought, why did I put the snowblower away? I should know better living here. It should be May.
He and other Minnesotans could do nothing more than shake their head at Mother Nature's cruel joke and try to look for the positive.
It's invigorating. A very good workout.
Mark Basiletti hit the snowy trails at Elm Creek before the sun melted it all away.
Didn't expect to be out this week, but we got a good 9 inches here in Maple Grove.
He's certainly not complaining about the lack of green grass, but he also didn't expect this long of a season.
I think 3 times I said, well, that's it for this year.
Do you think this is the last time you'll be out?
This time I would bet on it, but you know, in Minnesota, we can't predict those things.
As for clearing roads, the city of Brooklyn Park decided against plowing curb to curb in residential neighborhoods. That would have left those big windrows, the fancy word for large, heavy piles at the end of your driveway. Instead,
we chose to do one pass each direction down every street.
And the rest, Mother Nature can clean up herself.
We know it's going to melt. I mean, whether we plow it or not, it's going to melt within a day or two.
In Brooklyn Park, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
This latest snowfall puts us at 78 inches for the season in the northwest suburbs, and that's 9 inches short of the record set during the 2010-2011 winter season.
In other news, a Brooklyn Park man is identified as the victim of a fatal crash in St. Louis Park. 75-year-old James Hance died early Wednesday morning. He was in an accident Tuesday night at the intersection of Minnetonka Boulevard and Cobblecrest Court in St. Louis Park. As we went to air, there was no word on what caused that crash.
Anoka-Hennepin school teachers have voted overwhelmingly in favor of a new 2-year contract. The district's 2,800 teachers have been working without a new deal since last summer. The new agreement follows 10 months of negotiations and the threat of a possible strike. The contract includes raises and a $1,000 one-time bonus. The agreement now goes to the Anoka-Hennepin School Board for final approval.
Golden Valley's longtime fire chief is calling it quits after a career spanning 40 years.
It's a great profession. There's no other profession like it.
Mark Coonley came to work for the Golden Valley Fire Department in 1987, and he was appointed chief in 1990. His firefighting career dates back to 1973 when he started with the Excelsior Fire Department. He says the thing he's enjoyed most about the job is the difference that he's made helping complete strangers.
I don't think it's entirely sunk in yet that my life is going to be changing in the next couple weeks. However, I am looking forward to it, but with mixed feelings and reaction, because I really do love the fire service. It's a great profession.
Coonley's last day on the job will be April 30th. He says he plans to spend his retirement doing volunteer work and also traveling. There has been a dramatic increase in the number of heroin-related deaths in Hennepin County.
54 people died last year from heroin overdoses, making it one of the deadliest years on record for Hennepin County. Tonight, Thursday night, a town hall meeting is being held to address the problem. Adam Peterson of Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge is one of the speakers, and he joins us now. Thanks for being here, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Adam, tell us, why are we hearing so much recently, last couple of years, about heroin?
Well, heroin has been a growing issue in Minnesota. It's a huge concern. We've had a rise in the purity with 93% purity, and the overdose deaths is just really alarming. We've seen a rise at Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge. In our treatment admissions in the last 5 years, it's increased 10 times than normal. And we know that there are direct correlations with prescription opiates and other drugs that are leading people to the heroin.
Why is it such an attractive drug for teenagers and younger people?
Great question. I don't think when people start using drugs, they plan on being addicted to heroin, but because of how addictive and how similar opiate medication like Oxycontin and Vicodin and Percocet are to heroin, it becomes an alternative option when the pills run out. It's a cheaper, easier to get alternative, and there's other ways to administer it. But again, you never know how pure it is, and people are overdosing and losing their lives because of it.
And there are some positives in the battle. Just today, charges were announced against more than 65 heroin distributors. Tell us a little bit about some of the successes maybe you're seeing with patients.
Well, at Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge, we have a program called Know the Truth that goes into high schools and middle schools and educates students and parents about the risks. And so we've seen a decrease in the amount of teens that are experimenting with it because of this, because of the awareness, building awareness like events tonight and former events that we've done with other counties. And at Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge, we see a decrease in the use because of the people coming into our program. Each admission into our program with an opiate addiction is a potential success story with our program, because we really look at the underlying root core issues of what leads you to the addiction and keeps you on the drug, and really try to just end everything right there.
All right. Adam Peterson, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Coming up, an impressive Brooklyn Center student who is also a talented musician.
And a little bit later in sports, we'll get a look at the Cooper Hawks softball team as they prepare for their home opener.
But first, a damp start expected for Easter Sunday. Otherwise, your weekend has hints of May-like weather. We'll be right back.
Even though it doesn't feel like spring today, it will on Sunday.
Especially at Maple Grove Senior High School, where a church hopes to host the largest Easter egg hunt in the state. All week, volunteers from the Passion Church have been working on filling up more than 50,000 Easter eggs and baskets for kids up to 6th grade. So far, 700 kids have registered, but many more are expected. Church members will hide the goodies for 3 different hunts. Plus, there will be an Easter message available for adults.
We just believe as a church, we don't have to be anti-culture to be pro-God. So we just try to find creative ways that we can effectively reach out to and touch our community.
There will be live animals, and of course the Easter Bunny will make an appearance. You can go to bestegghunt.com to find out all of the details. And it's all inside, so Alex, they don't have to worry about the weather.
The snow, no problem.
No problem. This week's Standout student is a talented musician who loves to help others.
Brooklyn Center senior Eddie Torres found his voice through music. Amid the noise and confusion, that is middle school band.
What's up? Putting my instrument together, you know.
There's a clear voice.
And then when you're playing, you just blow a lot more air.
That cuts through it all.
There you go. Just a little, keep holding it.
Brooklyn Center senior Eddie Torres works daily with this group.
Keep going. Just.
Because it's the same age where Eddie found his passion.
Make sure you cover the hole.
When he first picked up a clarinet 6 years ago.
I wasn't really expecting to get involved in music that much. But after 7th grade year, it started to click with me. I was like, I kind of enjoy doing this. It was a great way to express myself.
For this shy 18-year-old, music is his form of self-expression.
I'm reserved at first, but once people get to know me, I'm fun. I love to care for other people. I just enjoy helping. You gotta make sure your right hand's underneath this.
Talented beyond the clarinet.
He also plays guitar and piano. He can play just about anything, plays saxophone. He's a talented kid.
Eddie arranges music too. He recently stepped up and arranged a popular pop song for the band's spring concert.
It sounds like a professional arrangement, so it's very, very cool.
While playing with an honors band in Minneapolis recently, the conductor tapped Eddie to direct the concert warm-up.
There are more clarinetists. I know for sure that there are better than me. but being like selected to do that, it was a true honor.
Though Eddie's future career plans don't involve music,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
his passion for playing and teaching is a foundation for the next act.
There's a lot of skills that music and band teaches a student, and it doesn't matter what he does, he's gonna be successful.
Eddie plans to pursue a nursing or dental career, but he says he'll always be involved in music. You can tell how much it means to him.
You definitely can. Wise beyond his years.
That's right. Still ahead, time to start thinking about your garden. We'll show you what you can do now despite the snow.
But first, John Jacobson takes a look at the new Northwest Suburban Conference as the league prepares to add 3 more teams. John's here now with sports. Big changes come to the Northwest Suburban Conference.
A huge conference now, and so it does bring some logistical problems that the schools are now working out. The Northwest Suburban Conference takes on 3 new schools next fall as Irondale, Spring Lake Park, and Totino Grace join the league. I talked with Osseo Activities Director Ray Kirch about the 3 new members and how it affects the Orioles and the other current schools in the conference.
I think it's a great fit. I think it was a great decision. Our conference is excited about it. You never want to get too big, but 14 schools will give us some opportunities to do some things in divisions, and we think all 3 of those schools will be great members of the Northwest Suburban Conference.
A lot of your sports are going to 2 divisions. Some will stay 1 division. What was the process for that in deciding what sports goes, north and west, or which one just stays all 14 teams?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning process, and I don't know them all by heart. Football will split, hockey will split, but it kind of was a decision based on what we thought was in the best interest of the particular sport, and the coaches and the ADs kind of all trying to make the decision. And to say that it's going to always be 1 big division or 2 7-team divisions forever and ever isn't necessarily true.
Finally, a question about the spring sports, although not as challenging as 2013. Certainly some weather issues to deal with again this year, late starts, and the weather even this week a little bit sketchy. How do you deal with that as an activities director and trying to coordinate teams and transportation and everything?
Well, the good news is we're all in the same boat. I mean, it's snowing in Centennial, and it's snowing up the road in Champlain Park, and so everybody is in the same situation where we've got to reschedule and try to find open dates.
You can see more of my interview with Ray Kirch, plus some of the top prep highlights of the week on Channel 12's Sports Jam. It's on a Monday through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. The Cooper softball team lost its season opener to Osseo Tuesday, but the Hawks are optimistic about this season. Cooper is coming off a 10-10 season. They return much of their everyday lineup, including shortstop Tamara Hicks and center fielder Leah Donahue, who each hit over 400 last spring. But they did lose pitching mainstay Casey Anderson to graduation. 9th grader Ray Beener will step in as the top pitcher with their 7th grade sister as backup.
Well, we have Ray Beener and Laura Beener, both really good players for how young they are. And I mean, I think they're going to be a surprise to a lot of the other teams, not really expecting how well they're going to be pitching, and especially in the next few years, I mean, they're only going to get better.
I have confidence. It's probably kind of a little weakness that we have a freshman pitcher, but she has a lot of responsibilities. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be hard for her to take them.
I have complete confidence in Ray. It's going to take a little while to get used to it, but I think if defense can show and come through, we can do great.
It's Cooper's final season in the North Suburban Conference. They'll still play a few of the schools in future years, but rivalries will end with some of the teams.
I don't think it's totally hit me yet that we won't see some of these guys next year, and then at the same time preparing myself for what we're going to see the following year. But yeah, we've had this group for quite a while now, so we're going to have to say goodbye to some people. But it's exciting at the same time, though, too.
The Hawks will host Irondale Monday in their home opener and then play Totino Grace next Wednesday. While every outdoor game was postponed Wednesday, there was no snow indoors. Osceo's PI Division adapted softball team hosted Anoka-Hennepin. Second inning of this one. And Kai France's hit for the Mustangs scores Jordan Peshong, and they are just getting started. Fourth inning, Amanda Wallen with an RBI hit up the middle for Anoka-Hennepin, and they make it 11-0 with that run. In the fifth inning, Ben Schmidt's base hit to right brings home Hannah France for a 13-1 lead. Bottom of the fifth, nice rip by Osseo's Taryn Van Lawrence, but a nice catch by shortstop Joey Mannion ends the game. It's Anoka-Hennepin winning 14-1 in 5 innings. And that's a look at sports. We'll hope for warmer temperatures in the week ahead.
Yes. Thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, believe it or not, it is time to think about the garden.
Next week, it will feel like time to garden for sure, and we will tell you what you should do to get ready for spring planting.
Even though it doesn't look like spring, many people are thinking about gardening.
Yes, we are. Reporter Sonia Goins goes into the garden to show us what we can do right now.
I think it is Minnesota, and it's sad. I want spring.
It's hard to think about gardening when it's doing this outside.
I came in here looking for flowers. I am searching for any kind of spring I can find.
Kim Lopez isn't the only one wondering what happened to spring.
Yeah, all of us has to stay inside till we get some nice day temps and consistent 40-degree night temps before you can put it outside.
Looking forward to it. I will be back.
She found a bit of a season at Dundee Nursery.
Pansies can be put out right now.
It smells and looks like spring.
I have plenty of wonderful herbs. We have rosemary that's come in.
There are lots of tropical plants in many varieties and colors.
We have mandavillas that came in from California, jasmines, I have lemons, limes, hibiscus.
If you're itching to put on your gardening gloves, there's some things you can do right now once the snow melts and the ground is dry.
You can put regular fertilizers down with seed. Crabgrass preventer will stop all forms of seed from germinating, including grass seed.
You can also protect your plants that are already blooming.
Some people have tulips coming up, daffodils, early bloomers like that. You should probably cover with a sheet.
Once the ground thaws, you can plant cold weather crops.
Cold weather crops, if you could continue to cover them, like spinach, lettuce, broccoli, those are cold weather crops and can actually be planted right now. You just have to make sure you cover them or put what they call a tunnel over them or something to protect them and keep them warm at night.
You can even get a jump on other veggies by planting them indoors.
A lot of people actually started their tomatoes and peppers the end of February, beginning of March, because they take the longest to get to a stage where they can be planted outside.
However, many gardeners say they are being patient when it comes to planting.
Just hang inside and read some books and snuggle in for another week or two.
For In the Garden, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Many people start planting around Mother's Day, but if you want to play it safe and make sure all that frost is gone, you have to wait until Memorial Day. So you know what that means? We're going to be waiting so long for tomatoes
wait till
this year.
Memorial Day.
The end of August, we're going to be getting tomatoes. It'll be a long time. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.